All right, should I say it again? Should I like bring that up again or
Yeah, do it.
okay, so we show up, it's top 10 time. It's my most anticipated time of the year for the show. And this motherfucker shows up with a pressed shirt, fresh button-up shirt and a tie with like a good haircut and like, shaped his beard and everything. And I'm here, I just woke up. I had a concert last night and my hair's like this.
Was it Linkin
So
Park last night?
yeah, I saw Linkin Park. I told you I was gonna see them.
No, I knew you were watching them. I didn't know it was last night.
Yeah. So that was fun. Uh but yeah, but here we are. So I believe this is going to represent our personalities pretty well.
I
Uh
Well,
he's the
I wear that.
dad.
So like
You
it's
know,
fine.
he's the dad and I'm his bratty teenage son who was like
I'm just
just, you
embarrassed.
know.
Like, look, I know you have to arrest him, but like, do we really have to put the handcuffs on him? Like, he's not a threat. He's an idiot, but he's not like dangerous.
It's practice, Luna. It's how you I'm helping you in a way.
Oh no, if Ollie gets arrested, I'm not helping him at all. I'm telling you that right now. He's gonna stay the weekend in jail. I'm not. Hey, I ain't no helicopter parrot. Hey, you fucked up. Your ass is staying in jail. Mm-mm. That's how
All
you.
right. Well, if that's how it is. All right. A few
Or is there
words
some kind of deep
on.
psychological trauma to me, like letting him burn?
I mean,
I feel like that's a good thing though. Like that's like teaching him responsibility.
we always strive to be better than how our parents raised us, but that can come with grievances. That's a topic for another podcast. We
We don't
should
have
wrap
time
up
to dive
this
into all the
year.
psychological stuff.
So the Oscar nominations came out, and that, as always, means that it is time for us to wrap up on the year. This is the end of the rollback fiscal year, which means that, we check the numbers, we cry, and then we move on as we do. So,
Is this
a
our
few
like
words.
10th, top 10 or is this our like ninth?
I believe this might be our ninth. Yeah.
Okay, so next year
So
might
this is
be
fun.
a top 10 of top 10s. How about next year we do two episodes? We'll do a top 10 for 2025 and then we'll do a top 10 of our like top 100 films of the last 10 years.
That would be so fun. Let's do that. Yeah.
Oh man.
Uh,
Oh God. That's a fucking commitment right there.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, but a few words on the 2024 as a year. I'll say it, 2024 as a whole kind of sucked. I'm not talking movie wise, it's just emotional wise. There was a lot of, bad shit that happened. But in a weird way, music got better. Films got better in quality, but not in quantity. We had a few really good movies, but not like a lot of great movies.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone that sees right now the current 10 nominated films for Best Picture, we're gonna be like, really? Those are, oh God, this was kind of an off year.
That's the best you
But
can do.
but in a weird way, when I was doing my top 10, because I start making the list when the year starts. And when I was moving them around in the last couple of weeks, I found myself struggling. Like I could give you a top 20 and I'll be like, I'm pretty proud of these. Like I had a lot of fun with these. Um, and the movies that were bad were a few, but it was easier to ignore them. It was just way easier to ignore the bad stuff this year. So I'm kind of wishy-washy on this year, but the movies that were good, fuck yeah, they were good. I don't know how it's going to be memorable in a few years, but hopefully it will be. What are your thoughts wrapping up on 2024?
2024 was a weird year. Like there were only two big comic book movies this year. No real tentpole films to prop up the market. It felt like there were very few gimmick movies. Like there was no Barbenheimer this year. And it was
They tried. They
huh?
tried, but
They tried and they failed. I know they were
yeah,
really pushing for Wicked to be the new Barbie, but was it good? Yes. Was it Barbie good? No, it was not.
of course.
Um, DC Marvel took a year off. Margot Robbie took a year off. Nolan took a year off. So you can kind of feel like the I won't say downturn, that's not the right word, but
Yeah,
like something's missing here.
yeah.
Um, Also of the top 10 grossing movies, like of the top four, I did not see Moana 2. I did see Despicable Me 4. It just felt like a weird write-off year because 2023 was a battleground, right?
Yeah.
And 2025 is shaping up to be a war. So 2024 was, and I mentioned this last year, like when we were talking about movies and anticipation. 2024 feels like a write-off year. Like it's weird. Am I
So
wrong?
it's the weird middle child
It's the
of this.
redheaded stepchild that no one wanted. It's the who's a TV character no one wanted.
It's the Chris Thorndike of
Fuck is Chris
years.
Thorndike?
The people who know will know.
Oh no, now do I have
Just
to go?
trust me. No, you don't have to Google it. It's fine.
And
Long story short, it was like a short Sonic anime that featured like a human boy and everyone hated him. That's it.
fair enough. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. Fair goddamn enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't feel like the bestest year ever. There are plenty of good movies, but not a lot of great ones. And like maybe two like really like amazing films.
Yeah. Like
Um,
I can think of a few that we're gonna be like, oh yeah, let's keep rewatching that in the next following years. But yeah, I guess time will tell. But we'll see. You ready to get into it? Or
yeah. Do you want to start your honorable mentions and then I'll go?
yeah, let's do honorable mentions. I'm gonna go from bottom to top. Honorable mentions, I'm gonna go with My Old Ass, which was shaping up to be like a comedy, but it turned out to be a pretty emotional trip, a good coming of age story. Sweethearts, this movie came out on HBO Max, and it was also fun comedy, a good back to basics comedy with a really good twist at the end. I will say that. Monkey Man was a fun action film. Beetlejuice, unexpectedly funny. I had fun with it. Lisa Frankenstein, super original, probably one of the most original films of the year. The 430 movie, Kevin Smith going back to basics.
Yeah.
S- It was cute, not gonna lie. It's not great, but it's cute. And it's very easy to see a movie like that and being like, oh man, it's like seeing a friend of yours succeed. It's just always great. Maxine was a good end to the trilogy. Um, kind of A Quiet Place Day one, unexpectedly good, unexpectedly very charming. Love the characters in this. Turtles All the Way Down, also good. Godzilla Kong New Empire, unexpectedly fun and adventure and everything. I'm gonna go also with Gladiator 2. We Live in Time. Both Rascal Does Not Dream movies were good if you wanna cry with that. Woman of the Hour was also a great effort. The Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul movie just dropped on Netflix. Super funny. Watch it with the fam. Longlegs and Cuckoo. These two, I'm gonna put them as one because the super good. Spy Family Code White also. Immaculate, Heretic, Riki Staniki, probably the funniest movie of the year. I'll say it. Abigail, super original. One of those movies that I feel like years down the line they're gonna be like, we're gonna remake that one, and you're gonna be like, why? It was so good.
Okay.
Uh, so that Haikyuu, the dumpster battle. Also, if you're into Haikyuu, I'm into it. Furiosa, also Inside Out 2. Sonic 3 also very close with that one. And the last batch here is going to be Twisters, The Substance, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, It's What's Inside, Conclave, Hitman, Sing Sing, Anora, The Wild Robot, and Flow. Those were like that's the unofficial 11 to 20.
Uh,
That's
Dude,
the breakdown.
I can guarantee you right now, every year we typically have at least one that's like the same.
Yeah.
I guarantee you we're not doing that this year. I can
Jesus Christ.
I can almost guarantee it. I wonder what obscure shit you're gonna mention. I am curious about what kind of obscure movie that was shown in like a French cinema for like 3 days that you're gonna mention and be like this movie right here.
At least
Where's
two.
that guy?
I'll tell you that.
Huh?
At least two, I'll tell you that. All right, so that's my honorable mentions. You can go ahead with yours.
So my honorable mentions are a little more stingy. I tried to put movies that I was like, oh, I might rewatch that again. Like I might rewatch that a
Yeah.
second time. Again, bear in mind, folks, I this is one of those weird years where I legitimately feel like there was not a single like hands down 10 out of 10 film I gave a lot of sevens this year. I was like, this is good, but it's not amazing. Um, I'll start with Carry On, a dumb action movie that harkens back to Die Hard. It's one of those movies that we need, right? Like it's stupid, but it's kind of fun and decent action, good acting. Um, Never thought of not Jason Schwartz. What's his name?
Taron
The
Egerton.
No, not
Oh,
Egerton.
Jason Bateman.
Bateman.
Jason
I
Bateman.
never thought of Bateman as a bad guy until this movie, and now, holy shit, he can pull it off. Um, Gladiator 2 was really good, but a little too predictable. I didn't see the swerve of Denzel Washington being like almost the primary bad guy. Didn't see that coming, but that's about it for me.
We very much
Challenge
enjoyed
was,
that, though.
huh?
Very much enjoyed that, though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't expect that. I thought it was gonna be the two crazy kings, or princes
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Challengers was good, but it never cracked the top 10 for me.
Okay.
Really good movie, but it didn't break through that ceiling. Sonic 3, same thing, pretty good, but it doesn't break the barrier. Heretic, really fun movie to talk about. Still doesn't break it. Uh,
Yeah.
Excuse me. Substance, Monkey Man, Lisa Frankenstein, Inside Out 2. Again, all really good movies, but they're either missing something or I feel like they just didn't. There was something that wasn't there that it stopped me from being like, this is amazing, so this is good, right? Especially Inside Out 2. The fucking cowards like withdrew all the stuff of Riley potentially being gay. The fucking cowards. So yeah, and then I do have one dishonorable mention, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're doing dishonorable? I can do dishonorable.
Oh Jesus, I only have one.
Okay, go ahead.
You can go first if you like.
Those were all your honorable mentions?
Those are all the honorable mentions. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's a thin list, man. I feel like
All right.
I tried to do at least sevens. Like I was like, look, if it's gonna be honorable, it has to be at least a seven. I'm not gonna give it to like
Okay.
an okay film.
Okay. I just mentioned all the movies I enjoyed this year that did not crack the top 10. Those to me are
No,
because
fair.
even if the movie's just okay, like I'm at the movies, I'm having a good time, you know.
That's fair. I think for me, it's more like I want that spark, and I feel like I so rarely found it this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, can I ask you some small like parentheses? Did you hear the thing about AMC list? AMCA list?
no, I withdrew from it because since we moved.
You would Oh shit, okay. Because I was gonna tell you they changed it to now you can watch 4 movies a week. Yeah.
I wish I still lived in Edinburgh. The nearest AMC theater to my house is 30 minutes away.
Jesus.
Why don't I
Okay.
take the
Never mind.
expressway?
Hmm. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Dishonorable mentions. I'm gonna go with in a violent nature. To me, it was. I mean, props for being for having an original take on something, but didn't love the execution. Madame Web. Yeah. We all saw him talking about that Web. Joker Folie à Deux. Same thing. Talk about something that you didn't have to do, and when you did, sucked. Argyle is probably one of the
Oh,
more
God.
worst offenders of this year. Yeah, one of the worst offenders of this year. Unnecessarily long and boring. Boring. Borderlands also boring. Uh, One I saw very recently, Nutcrackers. I believe this was a Hulu movie or something with Ben Stiller.
Depressing as fuck.
Depressing as fuck, man. Sorry, no, Christmas is a time for joy. And speaking of ruining Christmas, Red One, what a pile of shit. In the words of The Rock, that is, um, what was the thing he said about Tyrese album?
That's a
When,
big pile of shit.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, terrible, absolutely terrible. And last but not least, Emilia Perez. What a fuck! What though? That's the most offensive thing. Look, I've been called slurs to my face, and and I didn't feel as offended as when I saw this. Like, Jesus Christ, the worst. You imagine being offensive and hurtful and like totally ridiculous, without being fun. And also like being stupidly boring. In the words of
Being
Selena
nominated for an
Gomez,
Oscar.
nominated for 13 Oscars. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Um,
Does he have, okay, I know the
yeah.
Oscars you have to campaign. Does he have
Yeah.
like dirt on everyone? And he's like, hey, I have your emails. You better vote me in or else.
It's that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, fucking shit. Uh anyway, what?
No, no, just like goddamn. Like,
Yeah, terrible. So those are my dishonorable mentions. Yeah.
Um, so I guess I have two dishonorable mentions only. You mentioned one.
Okay.
The original was Joker Folie à Deux, which, man,
Yeah.
that was the movie where I was like, that's gonna be my number one. It's gonna be great. Nah, even when the online like the hate was there, I was like, it can be good. Like maybe they're just
Yeah.
reacting. Nah, they weren't overreacting. It sucked.
Yeah.
Um, man, I wanted it so badly for it to be good. Anyway,
Yeah.
Joker Folie à Deux is one. The only other dishonorable mention I'll mention that's worth it is Venom 3, which here's the
Okay.
thing. For me, a bad movie is a bad movie. But the worst thing is when you're disappointing when you have potential. And there was a lot of potential in a Joker musical that could have been great, but they didn't commit. Imagine if they had done Willy Wonka, but with the Joker, like with the whole like dancing and the set pieces, could have been
Yeah.
amazing. They didn't commit. Um, Also, Todd Phillips, that's the name of the director, right?
Yep. That helps.
He actively said like he wanted to make a movie that how do I say this? He wanted to make a film without with a big budget without having to tie it to anything, but the only way he could get it made is if he tied it to the Joker, right? Fuck you, dude. If you're gonna make a film within a fandom, you have to respect the fandom. If not, make your fucking movie somewhere else with someone else's money. That's what I'm saying. That and Venom 3, which again, Venom 3 has so much fucking potential. Like it really could have been a great send-off, and instead it was a wet fart. Um,
I,
it was like it was like eating like a really good Venom 1 and 2 are like having like a really great burger with like cheesy steak fries. And it's like, oh, this is amazing. This is delicious. And then you go to have dessert and it's an Oreo shake, but you find out that the milk is expired. The Oreos are off-brand, and at the bottom of it, there's mint.
what's wrong with mint?
Fuck mint. It knows what it did. I made an entire comic book strip about how much I hate mint if mint was a person. I'm not joking. When I was in college, it was 8 pages long. Like I think it said, if Mint was a person, I would use all the hot water. If Mint was a person, I would delete its final essay the day before it's due. If Mint was a person, I would frame them for plagiarism. It was all this stuff. Anyway, it was funny at the time. I swear to God. But yeah.
That's oof. So what do you brush your teeth with?
Oh, I brush my teeth every day is the worst part of my day.
Really?
I do it begrudgingly. Peppermint,
Keep
mint.
keep I keep finding new stuff about you. It's part of the adventure, I guess. All right. All right.
Okay,
You
so
ready for
let's
this?
jump into our top tens.
Yeah, let's do it.
Would you like to go first, kind sir?
Yeah, I'll go first. All right. My number 10. I now that I talked a big game about, this year was it did give us a few gems that I don't know if we're gonna remember in the future, but the ones that were good, really, really enjoyed. I don't know if it's because of all the bad shit that was happening. I just, this is my hobby. This is the thing that I like to do. So I had much enjoyment of this. My number 10, weirdly enough, is a movie about a guy suffering the whole time, and that is Juror number two. Uh, just
Okay.
super enjoyable, super well written, well structured story about a man caught in a debacle of morals, and a movie that could very easily be a true story, and that was, I think, perfectly crafted. I've said before that I'm not a big Eastwood fan, but this one really, really worked for me. It's the scale, but smaller, lower dynamic stuff with very good polished writing really, really works, and performances up the wall. I think this is a movie that was ignored in the Oscar race, and I very much enjoyed it. And I think it cements the main actor, which I'm blanking right now. Nicholas
Um,
Holt.
Nicholas
Yeah,
Hoult.
yeah, Nicholas Holt cements him as, like, he's a guy that we take for granted. He's a really, really good actor. Can't wait to see how he does Lex
Lex.
Luthor. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna say juror number two. Great performances by everyone. Zoe Dutch and especially the lawyers. Um, yeah, just an overall great film. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting a little older, but like I'm kind of absorbing my dad's tasty movies. And this is like I saw this and I went like, this is gonna hit him like crack, and it did. So Shout out to juror number two. That's my number 10. No regrets. Loved it, loved it, loved it. It's one of those movies that I'm going to keep coming back to. And even though I would have wished to have seen it in theaters, kind of glad that it's always available on my Max account so that I can revisit it every once in a while, which I have done and very much enjoyed it. So yeah, juror number two is going to be my number 10.
Right. Durham 2 was really good. I think part of what makes it so good is it's a great conversation piece because
Yeah.
when
That's
you're
one of my
done,
favorite episodes that we've done, when we
yeah.
sat down and we were like, what the fuck do we do, in this situation?
I mean, it seemed pretty simple of what to do, but like apparently other people have something called a fucking conscience. I'm like, ah,
Yeah, this morality thing really weighs me down in every decision that I
pansies. Anyway.
make.
But no, I get it. You're number two. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll see your conversation piece with another conversation piece. Number 10,
Okay.
I'm putting down Conclave.
Ooh, heck yeah.
It's just a really good movie with a lot of tea that's interesting to watch. It's one of those movies that you have to watch. I know we always mention watching movies in theaters. I think this is one of those that you should watch at home because you can pause it, you can talk to people, you can talk to your parents or siblings, and they can put input, and it's a fun conversation piece, if nothing else. I watched this movie three times, once with you, once with
Yeah.
my family, and once with Nikki's family.
Mhm.
And every single time we were pausing it and discussing things and being like, well, this, well, really should he be disqualified for that? Or well, should we vote this way? Just different conversation pieces. Um, Good movie to watch. I think for me, a big thing about a top 10 is what's my experience watching the movie? Not just the quality of the film, but how was it watching it in theaters with people or with loved ones?
Yeah.
Conclave was pretty fun. We also watched it when you came to visit. That was special for me. It was the first time you stayed at my house.
Yeah.
It was maybe the experience is better than the film, but either way, that's why it's my number 10.
It's super memorable, and I think the performances are great, and it's a beautiful movie to look at. I mean,
Cinematography is good.
the Catholic aesthetic really lends itself to filmmaking, I think. It's the coats, man. It's the dresses and everything. It makes the Vatican look like a big, scary, cold place, and I think it really succeeds in that.
But I think it's also because it's basically Mean Girls with old dudes. Like that's
Also, yeah.
like that's why it's so much fun. It's like, so who are you voting for? Well, who are we gonna say this to,
Yeah,
motherfucker?
it's weirdly very accessible. Yeah.
Which I mean, that's what part of what makes it so
Yeah.
much fun.
Question. When we first saw it, it didn't have subtitles, so a lot of people, so they would talk in different languages, and you told me you weren't following very well. When you watched it again, did you watch it with subtitles?
Yes, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So very
It
much.
really adds to the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Like, but again, I think watching it multiple times, like that's a big thing for me. If I can stand your movie on multiple viewings, you have a good film.
Yeah.
Because
No, it's super rewatchable too, because like it's 2 hours long. It doesn't feel like it. It flies by.
yeah,
Yeah. Plus,
yeah.
if you love tea, it's
That's
tea's
what makes
piping
it so
hot in
good. That's why my fam. That's why Robert really liked it also. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the tea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my number 10. Sir, you're number 9.
Number nine. Yeah, we talk a lot about what were the fun movies? What was the you know, it's hard, man. It was hard, but like every once in a while I would watch something and I would be like, that's going to the list, like immediately. And it happened several times in the year where I had to like move stuff around. And sometimes when I was catching up, I caught this movie a little late in the year, a little late after it came out. So I watched it at home. And let me tell you something, I had a blast with this. It was fun, it was enjoyable, and live from New York, it's Saturday night. This is
Was it
yeah,
90 minutes on Saturday night or what was it called?
it was just called Saturday Night. Yeah.
Ah,
So yeah, it's the 90 minutes before the first episode of Saturday Night Live begins. This was directed by Jason Reitman. We didn't get a chance to review it because I caught it kind of late. But man, as someone that likes Saturday Night Live and is really interested in like all the story, like I've read books about the history of Saturday Night Live. I find it super fun. Grabbing a collection of new and upcoming good actors and comedians to play these old up and coming actors and comedians that were going to become huge was a super good idea. It celebrates the 50th anniversary of SNL, and I just love the way it's shot. I love the aesthetic. I love the constant stress of that is all put down in Gabriel Labelle's tiny little shoulders. So this is Gabriel Labelle. He plays Lorne Michaels. He's the kid from The Fablemans. And
Oh, that poor bastard.
we love this kid, okay? We loved it in Fablemans. I love them in there and here. And this to me is a kid that had oh man, he had a great like first step into our hearts with the Fablemans. And in this, he does a great job because you can tell that he's stressed, but he's a man with a plan. He's super
I'm
good. Yeah, what's up?
I'm adding it to my watch list. Like you're getting me really excited about it. It sounds amazing.
It's actually great, and Rachel Sennott plays his wife. We love Rachel Sennott. She was one of the main girls in Bottoms, so she was great in that too. She's great in this too. I will watch anything with her or Ayo Edebiri as well. And but the real standout in this is Cooper Hoffman, who plays Dick Ebersol, who's Lorne Michaels' right-hand man. Cooper Hoffman is the son of Philip Seymour Hoffman, who passed away a few years ago, and he looks distressingly like his father, and he does a great job in this. There's a moment I think everyone who's seen this movie talks about this moment where he physically, like the way that he moves and the way that he talks, he looks exactly like his father, and I think he does a great job in this movie. He's super good. Everyone is in it. Lamorne Morris in this. Corey Michael Smith is in this. Dylan O'Brien is in this. And I like that they did a good job in not doing impressions of these comedians, but embodying them. And you can tell how one thing leads to another, and everything is connected. There's some really good cameos from Willem Dafoe and J.K. Simmons, playing higher up executives that are really kicking the ass of this movie, and it's just a great. If you're interested in in that period of history, or even if you just want, if you're curious on how it was or how it works because Jason Reitman really loves this period of history, and it works because Gabriel Labelle kills it as Lorne Michaels. Like this is a guy that you root for, that you want him to succeed in this. He's kind of crazy for this idea, but now that we know it's been 50 years later and the show is a huge success, we know where it's coming from. But it's not winking at the audience. It does its job in making you feel like you're actually there. And yeah, absolutely love this one. It's one that I've been rewatching a couple of times, and yeah, freaking love Saturday Night. Also, I think it was ignored in the Oscars race. Gabriella Bell got a Golden Globe nomination for this, which I think was great. But he should have 3 Oscars by now, in my opinion. So, yeah, my number 9 is Saturday Night.
Okay, honestly, I didn't even I had rarely seen it. I always forgot about it. I
Yeah,
literally added it like midway conversation to my to watch list.
yeah.
There's like 8 other movies ahead of it, but I mean, I'm doing in at 4 o'clock in the morning when Ollie's like asleep. All I'm doing is watching movies while like he sleeps in the crib. So it's on the list now.
It's fun. You like it, yeah.
Uh, okay, so number nine, I like it. I see your film, and I'll throw you another movie that I don't think you expected to be on my top 10. Okay, folks, peek behind the curtain a little bit. There are times where Chema will suggest a movie to review, and I will agree without even looking into the damn film, and I'll be like, "No, let's check it out." Like I'll blindly agree.
That's my
And
purpose in your life, you
huh?
know. That's my purpose in your life. That's the purpose I serve.
Just give me recommendations.
Yeah, that's what I do.
But so okay, so I watched the preview for this film, and I looked at it, and I'm like, this is gonna be a fucking chore to watch. Like, this is gonna be one of those movies that I really don't want to watch. I'm gonna force myself to do it, but I don't want to see it. And
Mhm.
goddamn, have I never been more wrong, I think, with a suggestion. I've really enjoyed a lot of the movies that you've suggested. This might be my favorite.
Okay. All right.
Uh, I'm not counting Spy Family because that's a show, and I love that show, but it's a show, not a movie. Code
Yeah.
White, I will fucking die on the hill that poop scene, like almost, I almost walked out. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Not since Game Night has a movie been so much fun to watch with friends. It's What's Inside.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's so much fun to watch with friends. There's so many twists. It actively hurts. This is the movie. This is the kind of film where I think you have to see it multiple times to track everything. I was pausing it multiple times and I had a fucking chart. I was like, wait, so and so's here. They're the couple. Wait, so who's this? Like, it's so much fun. It's like it's like watching. It's almost like Clue, but better. Like it's elevated. It's like a hunt a killer game, but again, better. And then there's so much shit that happens in the movie that you're just like, oh fuck, what would you do? Because like there's a scene, folks. I'm not gonna give away the whole story. I'm just gonna give you like little sections of it because if you have not seen this film, you owe it to yourself to watch it, especially Green, especially with friends. Bring pencils and paper because you're gonna fucking need it. Trust me.
And
Um,
drinks.
Lots of drinks. Oh, I think the more inebriated you are, the more fun you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Um, but okay. Um, I'll just say this. The whole premise is they switch bodies for a short period of time, like and have fun with it, right? Like so and so goes into so and so's body, so and so goes into that body. It's fun. Except here's the fucking thing. At one point, two of them die when they switch bodies. So two people cannot go back into their original body. So what do you do now? And it is so much fun. It is so good. I love that ending. God damn, this movie, this is again one of those films where I'm gonna watch it again. And it's so much fun to watch with friends. It is the best and worst game night you can possibly have. Which again, it also raises questions about what would you do? Much like Juror Number Two, much like Conclave, it's the kind of film where you discuss it and you're just like, the fuck are we gonna what the fuck's gonna happen?
Yeah.
It's just a fun movie. My number nine is It's What's Inside, a movie I did not expect to enjoy, and I am glad I was wrong.
I hope it becomes a cult classic, and I hope that it keeps getting, attention. I wish it had come out in theaters. And again, I mentioned this in the review. I hope it becomes like a Halloween costume with like everyone with Polaroids on their chest.
Yeah.
It's such a good image, and the fact that this is this guy's first film and he wrote the script and everything, I can't wait to see what this guy does next.
You know,
So yeah, super fun. You thinking about a
I
sequel?
not necessarily a sequel. I would love to give him the rights to the Knives Out series. I imagine if he wrote parts four, five, and six. Give him a
Could be fun.
decade. Like it's not going to be quick, but like give him like one every 3 years or 4 years. I would not mind that. Have him write some more murder mysteries. Give him
Yeah.
the Murder on the Orient Express or something. Like God, he's amazing.
Not gonna lie, I would love more originals from this guy. I'm always down for a whodunit, and if it's original, even better. So yeah, love this what's inside. This close to getting on my top 10. It was on the list for a distressingly long time, but very much enjoyed it. It's definitely in the top 20 for me.
Fair, fair. Okay, that was my number nine. So you're number eight, sir.
Number eight, watch how I serve my number eight. It's Challengers. Anyway,
Okay,
yeah, of
fair.
course of course it's Challengers. This was probably one of the most original films of the year. Luca Guadagnino had the movie saved in a can for almost a year and a half because he couldn't release it while the strike was going on. So we ended up getting two movies from him this year, and out of between Queer and this one, this was my favorite. Love the performances by all three main characters. I like that Zendaya got to play a villain for once. She was really good in this, and so were Mike Faist and Josh O'Connor, who I think kind of ruled this year with their other films like La Chimera and other stuff. I think they were both great. The setup was great. The fact that it's so high energy, so fast pulsing, was great. The fact that climax at the end with the Trent Reznor Atticus Ross score playing, and when we go into the perspective of the tennis ball while it's going, it's fantastic. I think it's one of those movies that had weight because we kept referencing throughout the entire year, referring to a duo of two men and one woman as challengers was kind of the meme of the year in a way
Mhm.
because it kept coming back. Um, I love the poster. I love the score. I love how it kept coming from back and forth. I like all the references that they did to this, and I think it's one of those movies that we're also going to be referencing repeatedly. It's because it's super original. Tennis is not a sport that is super represented in film, and I like that it's an original piece. It's not a biopic. It's not a real life story. It's just a story that took place within a sport, and I think that's fantastic. Let's do more of these. Um, Also, the biggest crime that the Oscars committed this year was not nominating the score, because that's the score of the year. I'm sorry. Between this and Wild Robot, I think those are the best scores of the year. So yeah, bullshit in my opinion. Challengers was great. It's my number eight.
I'm curious, do you think like why do you think it didn't get as much love? Do you think it's because it was a very I don't know how to say this without like coming off weird. Erotic film? Like, do you think they were trying to avoid that for some reason?
This movie was for the freaks, and I am one of them. So, if they're too clean for that, then, they can take that outside.
Fair.
Yeah.
Challengers was really good. Just not in my top 10. Honorable mention.
Yeah,
I think it's very clear that I think you liked it a lot more than I did. Uh, but
very much enjoyed it.
speaking of a movie, I think I liked more than you did. My number eight is gonna be Cuckoo.
Oh, love the Cuckoo. Yeah.
So this movie was a really good year for horror films. I'll go ahead and say that right now. Um, I've got quite a few of them on here. First one up is Cuckoo. It's a damn good like horror thriller film. I don't know if calling it horror is fair. It's definitely like in that stalkerish vibe territory. I would say I want to call it an original movie. I feel like the Body Snatchers might be what's based on slightly. The whole concept of aliens coming down to mate with us and have us create more of them and whatnot. It's not exactly an entirely new premise, but the approach is great. Not only that, but the emotional core is great, as much as the horror is. Cuckoo is a great scary film to watch. It in context solid all throughout, great premise, solid villains, but I love the emotional heart of it. Where and I'm trying to pull the name right now.
Uh,
Gretchen and her half sister, the way that they're able to connect with one another. I don't know if you remember this movie. I don't know if you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
where her
I
little
do.
sister actually ends up calling her mom, who's actually dead. So many layers to this film, and asks her to come visit because Gretchen's sad and it would make her happy. Like, if that does not bring a tear to your eye, I don't know what the fuck will. Um, Such a great film, great execution, really fun to watch in the theaters. Cuckoo is a movie I was really looking forward to for a long time, and it's one of those movies that, thank God, did not disappoint and lived up to the hype I had in my head.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. I love the direction. I like how the pacing is really off and weird in a good way. I love Dan Stevens as a hammy villain. I love the Alps being a background of this. And I love Hunter Schafer. I think she's a fantastic young actress. Can't wait to see what she does next.
I think
Uh,
I think she's a future I think she's a future Oscar winner.
yeah, one day. I hope so.
There are numerous people I think I mentioned. Lady Rose Depp is another one that like it's not if they're going to win Oscars. It's not if, it's when.
Yeah. But yeah, love that movie. I'm not familiar with the director's other work, but I would love to see what they do next because it was a foot in the right door. Yeah, really like that one. All right, so that's your number
Eight.
eight, right?
Your number
Number
seven.
seven. Speaking of Little Rose Depp, let's talk about Nosferatu.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
we just reviewed it. I think before Sonic, it's a previous review. Um, and so I don't have anything new to say besides the fact that it's Nosferatu. It's the movie that we waited the whole year to get, and it fulfilled every box. It checked every check mark. It's perfectly ambient. I love the setting. I love the cold colors. I love the acting. I love the way that they redesigned and reintroduced Count Orlok to us. I love everyone's performance in this. And yeah, Robert Eggers is one of those directors that every single one of his films is slowly becoming an event. Ever since he did The Witch, we're all like, what is the guy from The Witch going to do next? And then it became like, what's the guy from The Lighthouse going to do next? And then he just kept going and going. I
Mhm.
like that this is a movie that I'm really enjoyed. I'm really glad that everyone is really like, even people who don't like horror are kind of clawing to see this. So I really like that, and new Christmas classic, always good. Um, yeah, I don't want to repeat myself too much from the review, but I'll just say that really enjoyed it. Another movie for the freaks, and yeah, we won this year, very much so.
So, what do you think will stand the test of time more as a Christmas classic? The Holdovers or Nosferatu?
Fuck, good double feature though. Like,
No,
you
it's a
know,
good triple feature because here's what you do. You watch the Holdovers, right? That gets you happy. Then you watch the first half of Nosferatu. And then the part where he gets on the ship, you go watch The Last Voyage of the Demeter, and then you finish Nosferatu.
Nosferatu and the Holdovers have that thing in common where it's about, people not leaving your house. So that's like it's the stress of people not going away from you from where you want to rest. So
Uh,
that's one. Yeah.
What if instead of William Defoe as the Doctor, they had Paul Giamatti and he had his cock eye?
Look, he would have found a way to save everyone. I will tell you that. He would have used the power of Marco Aurelius's book to just like to get them out of there. Every year we can have a new Christmas classic, and we're two for two. So good for that.
Oh my God, that would have been amazing. Imagine if when Nicholas Hoult runs out of the crypt, he's like, "No, my
Yeah.
wife," and you know the part with the rats and everything, and he's just
Yeah.
like, "Go run" or whatever. Imagine if Paul Giamatti just like takes a drink, smashes the bottle, and everything the lights on fire, and he's just like, "Ha!" and he just starts walking. I need to see that now. Fuck. Okay. Uh,
Yeah. But yeah, number seven, Nosferatu for me.
that's-
It's yeah.
God damn, it's such a great movie. I'm sorry I jumped on that one. It's such a good movie. Like I agree
It's
with you.
super fun. Yeah. Yeah.
But my number seven, a movie you're not gonna agree with me at all, and
Better
it's
not be Red One, I'll tell you that much.
so you know how you always told me, hey, I didn't like it, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, let's keep that energy because it's in a violent nature, not Red One.
Okay, that's fine.
Red One was a disappointment. It had so much fucking potential. But anyway, in a violent nature, I literally have here in my notes, and I'm gonna quote myself. I know it's not for everyone, but I really like the setting, the slow pace, and the kills. It's all good. It's definitely not a movie for everyone. I know it's slow. I know it's plotting. I know it's one of those movies that's like, get to the good part, what's gonna happen. It is not for everyone. Did you know that they filmed this movie twice?
Really?
Yeah, because the first cut came out so bad that they went back out and redid it. There's only one shot from the original version that made it into the second version, and it's an overhanging shot because it was real fucking expensive and they couldn't do it twice. But like the production of this film was hell to film. They had to make new equipment. They were being eaten by mosquitoes. Like it was a hell to shoot. But man, I really enjoyed it because it's for one, I don't think I've ever seen a movie from the killer's perspective. Again, I understand it's a lot of slow walking, slow plotting. I like that stuff. I like going out into nature and just walking for hours. That's fun for me. When we went to
Okay.
Colorado, like we just walked in the woods for a couple of hours. It was nice. There's also something about watching everything from the killer's perspective, from a new look. For all intents and purposes, this guy is a Jason Michael Myers ripoff. Fair enough. But I really enjoyed myself. It was so quiet. And when I went to go watch it in theaters, it was me and some couple that was making out like in the back corner, I think. Like I was the only one
Uh,
actually watching it. And it was
Good for them.
yeah, good for them.
Good for them. I like that. I like that that shit's still going on.
Yeah, that's
True
right.
love wins at the end.
Are you the innocence of our youth back then? Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was the atmosphere, it was the pace, it was the really gory kills. It was the way that they set up a world where it's like somehow, even following the killer, you were managed to grab scraps and pieces of what's going on. You have the campfire, there's a love triangle. This guy's the last remaining survivor, and his dad was killed by this guy back in the 80s, during a slaughter. It's just it's so good all the way through. I don't recommend In a Violent Nature to everybody because again, it is very slow paced. But if you're one of those that loves horror films and would love to see it from the killer's perspective, and you have the patience, In a Violent Nature is definitely for you at my number seven.
I will say this about a violent nature. There's one kill. I'm not gonna go to spoilers, but like I'm just gonna go like, you know, you know, like, you know,
Yoga.
uh,
Okay.
yeah. Let's just go with let's go with
That's all
splitting
we're
in
gonna
half.
say.
Let's just go with
Yoga.
that. And I did enjoy the ending. I like how stressful it was when she's in the car with the woman and she's like, "Oh, we can stop." It's like, "No, no, don't stop."
Did
Yeah.
you did you laugh when I'll hold him off so you can run. Hey, you big.
No, not really.
God, I laughed my ass off. I was like, you fucking idiot.
Now I'm picturing like the young couple that was making out behind you. Like, is that guy laughing by himself? Like,
Oh man, I laughed my ass off at Bottoms. There was some part where like you should have laughed, but I was cracking up.
oh
And
God, which part?
oh my God, it was something really stupid. Something bad happened to someone. I don't remember what. And the whole theater was quiet except for me. I just buzzed out, ha! Oh, sorry. Like someone got what they deserved. I know I was in the right for laughing. It was just kind of fucked up that I laughed.
It's so fun. Like, but Bottoms is really is the gift that keeps on giving. 2 years after, and it's still a gift that keeps on giving.
Still awesome. Still an awesome movie. We need more Bottoms.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We need more
I want
movies
more.
like Bottoms. Whatever.
Yeah.
Chipmunk, you're number six, sir.
Number 6. It's Dune Part 2. This is an epic. It's an epic movie that epic movie of the epic quantities that we deserve and that we haven't gotten in so long. And the first Dune, it was hit or miss with some people, but it was mostly a success. It was. I'm gonna blame more the time that we were in. We were all stuck at home. It was not the same. We should have seen it in theaters instead of at home. But damn, seeing Dune Part 2 on IMAX, dude, and like having just everything connect to the first one and making it an extension of the first one and seeing it as like a full feature with like all the scale, the music, the acting, everything about this movie is extremely memorable. Still talking about it to this day. Totally deserves its best picture nomination, although I would argue it deserved also best director. Um, Movies need to be this scale. They need to be this big. I love a small, lower dynamics, basic, well-written picture like Juror Number Two, but you give me a big, big action film with drama and weight and morals and danger and everything. I eat that shit up. This was a good meal and I've been eating well since. I haven't watched the show yet, the prequel show, but I keep coming back to Doom Part 2, man. I keep coming back to it. It's super fun. And it's weirdly, I feel like watching the first one and the second one together, they become super accessible. And I like that we're having, this renaissance of things like this. So, great. Also, it cements Timmy T as, a guy that can really do everything because he was great in this. He was great in Wonka. He was great in the Bob Dylan movie, and he just killed it at SNL for like the fourth time. So, uh, uh,
Is he gonna
what
break
what can I
Tom
s-
Hanks's record?
uh, Tom Hanks doesn't have like an SNL record. He's part of the Five Timers Club,
But
but
isn't he
that's
the one
it.
that's done it the most?
No, the one who's done it the most is Alec Baldwin and Steve Martin keep coming back and forth like between each other.
17 times Baldwin has taken it. Damn,
Yeah.
I thought it was Tom Hanks for some reason.
Tom Hanks hasn't hosted in a while, but I think he's definitely has more than five because they do like a thing where like if you host 5 times, you become part of the Five Timers Club and you get a jacket.
Five Timers Club
Yeah, yeah,
jacket.
you get a jacket.
That's The Rock has done it. Let's see who
Yeah,
else. Emma Stone. Huh. Okay, I did not know that.
yeah,
How
it's a whole thing.
expensive are these jackets? Oh,
Yeah, I
fuck
kind of
that.
want
Oh,
one.
I'm good, homie. I don't need to buy one.
How much?
The bootleg site is telling me $449.
Jesus Christ.
I don't need the jacket that bad. I'm good, homie.
Mm.
Mm.
But yeah, yeah, Doom Part 2. That's my number 6.
Fair, okay. My number six is the only comic book movie on this list. Um,
Oh, I know it. I know it.
yeah, but here's the thing. It's not what you think. I am gonna tear it down a little bit
Okay. Yep.
because it's a retrospective. So my number six, Deadpool and Wolverine. Here's the thing. Upon the initial viewing, it was a lot of fun. Maybe the second most fun I've had in the theaters. But in retrospect, it's a lot of great moments. I can't for the fucking life of me remember the story beats. It's just a lot of popcorn moments, which is good. It was a lot of meme moments. It was a lot of TikTok moments, a lot of viral moments. but like Logan has a few storyline beats, but I can't remember like Wade having any at all. Like I for the life of me cannot remember any emotional moments with Deadpool. Like I felt like he was on the back burner. Granted, this is a partner, this is a team film, but it's very clear that Logan had a storyline. I don't see Wade having his. Maybe they did try to insert it, but it didn't work for me. There's a lot of great meme moments in here where from the Backstreet Boys opening with Logan's corpse to the
It's in sync.
it's in sync. But the also the part where he's like God's best joke is that you can't die, except that it's on all of us.
Yeah.
Like that. Or the part with like the abs and Deadpool just being like, mm. Or and I don't want there's great meme moments there. Oh, I'm about to make a name for myself. But does that make a great movie? I have to say no, it doesn't, because the first two felt like they had a heart and soul and it was amazing. And this feels like the most hollow I've ever seen Deadpool. Can they recover? Fuck yeah, of course they can. But yeah, it just felt like this was missing a lot.
You know what my dad thought about the movie?
What?
I didn't know my daddy, but I'm sure I shot off his dick ready.
The
Yeah, he was laying them buttoning us helping my mom, and I shot out of there and I said, "What's up, doc?"
fuck did you just say?
That's what he said. That's what Gambit says.
No, no, I know, no, but that's what Wade is also like. What? They call me that Gambit. You sure that's not just what you want people to call you? Like, there's a lot of that, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But like, I don't know, man. If Wade's first part was being good enough for Vanessa, and the second part was having a family and figuring out a purpose for himself and wanting to live, I feel like this third one should have been about family, like him and Vanessa having a kid and his fear of becoming a father. Like, that's the natural progression of this. It's like Shrek. What was the third one? He was scared of being a dad, but they fucked up the execution.
Yeah.
Also, that I still hate it. That Happy Hogan scene is the most awkward, dumbass scene I've ever seen. Like, so you're a security guard. So you're a CEO. So you went from his driver to CEO. How did that, like it feels like it's trying to be funny. It didn't work. It did not work
I like how you're criticizing it, and yet it's your number six. Like it's
because it was fun. But
okay.
like in retrospect, like I thought about it being number one, and I'm like, okay, wait, is it fun good or is it just fun and that's it?
Look at you. You had a kid, and now you're maturing about your movie taste. And you grow up, grow. Look at you. You're also growing up in a way. Yeah.
Fuck off. My number six is Wolverine and Deadpool. You're
All
number
right.
you're number five, sir.
Number five. Let's stay in space for a bit. Since we talked about Dune, and what's scarier than being in space? Just
Romulus.
yeah. Alien Romulus, man, is my number five.
Forgot about that movie. It's so good.
No way, you forgot about it? Oh
Dude, I went
shit.
through all my lists of like movies I've seen this year.
Man, Alien Romulus was like this close to being number one for a good bit of the year because man, I love a lot of things about this movie, and I rewatched it a lot. And man, I just love the scale. I love how big it is. I love when it starts and we see these two main characters trying to survive in this garbage ass world. And I like the rain and everything. I like how dirty it feels. And then I love this little gang that goes up in space to try to escape just to live. They're not looking for like scientific discoveries, they're not looking for gold, they're just trying to live, man. And everyone is good in this movie, especially the two main actors, Kaylee Spaney and Davy Johnson. Davy Johnson, especially. We've seen a lot of actors play an android in movies. We haven't seen someone play an android with different personalities. I think he does a fantastic job. And while there was some controversy with the use of the recreating the original cast member, I think that's what weirdly one of the things that you can take out and the movie becomes infinitely better. Like if you took that out of the movie goes to like number two on the list, maybe. Because every other effect looks fantastic and it looks like it's really there. It's practical. Like you feel like you could walk in and touch it. That's what was so good about the original Alien movies. I watched this again with family, and my mom loves the original, and she was telling me like it's basically the same thing, and I was like, I disagree, man. I think it's different enough, and it's going to, reignite the passion of these movies because, while I did like, what were the two? Prometheus
Prometheus.
and Alien. What was the other one?
It was Prometheus. Covenant.
Covenant, yeah. Well, I did like those. This is much more my speed. I like how it genuinely felt scary, and I will say this and Twisters were the movies to watch on 4DX this year. If you had a 4DX theater and you got to see Alien Romulus, some of the best effects that you're going to, some of the best just use of 4DX technology ever. And I'm glad that Kaylee Spaney is also like shooting up the ranks as an A-lister because she was great in this. But everyone else is good. Like I mentioned, Davy Johnson, Archer Renault, Isabella Merced, Spike Fern. Everyone was really good in this. And I'm going to be coming back to this one because I very much enjoyed it. Also, it's good. If you haven't seen any Alien films, it's also good. Weirdly, it's at its worst when it's trying to be fan servicey and trying to remind you of the good moments from the previous Alien movies. It's really good when it's just being itself. So, very much enjoyed this. Has several setups and scenes that really pay off by the end, and one of the most terrifying endings, one of the most terrifying like
Oh my
villain
God, yeah.
creatures that I think we've seen. It's so good that I don't even wish to spoil it, but yeah, it's one of those things that like everyone gasped and immediately went silent in the theater when we saw that thing's face. It was wonderful.
That's some
Cannot
fucking nightmare fuel.
what?
That's some nightmare fuel.
It's some nightmare fuel, and like imagine being pregnant and having seen that. That's
Sir. The,
that's
you know what I think might be the only thing that's scarier? Hey,
what
folks, that thing wasn't special effects. That was practical.
I know. It's wonderful. I don't know how they kept that as a secret. Also, this was just one of the best kept secret movies of the last few years. And Fede Alvarez, we like him. We've seen him do. I love his Evil Dead remake, and I like Don't Breathe. So it's really cool. Can't wait to see what he does next. Um, but
Okay.
yeah, Alien Romulus is gonna be my number five.
Okay. Real quick, just an update because I was like, did it make money? Are they doing a sequel? Yes. They haven't quite closed the deal yet with Feather, but they do plan on bringing them back, and they are working on sequel ideas now. So hopefully they do a part two because it was really good. I love the delayed "Stay away from her, you bitch."
Bitch.
Like
Yeah.
it, perfect. Folks, real quick, Mend. Alien Romulus should have been on my top 10. I apologize. I don't know how I checked our podcasts, I checked our YouTube, and then I have my own personal list. I don't know how it wasn't on any of the three. Like I didn't remember it.
Dang it.
That's on me. That's on me.
Can
That's my
we when we start reviewing stuff for next year, can we do a special video where I show you how to use Letterboxd? Can we do that?
sure.
Just to see if it will
Done.
stick? Because
Done.
like I can't believe, I've been using it for like 6, 7 years
Mhm.
and I don't know how you haven't taken to it. You would love it.
I think because it's I don't know, maybe I never tried it well enough. I'll fucking try it. Why not?
All right.
Um, yeah, it's probably easier to keep track of all my movies because god damn it. But all right, so that was your number five.
Number five. Yeah.
Okay, my number five. It's a movie you already mentioned, a movie we already talked about. A movie that might be a new Christmas classic. It is Nosferatu.
Oh, heck yeah.
Now, I did put a disclaimer here. I did put this might be a cult of the new, but I think it was a fucking tour de force. Gothic horror. I call it maybe an epic. It's a peak at it's a story that you can rewatch multiple times. It peaks at a world that no longer exists in what the late 1800s, I think.
Mhm.
The setting is great. The cinematography is beautiful. You can tell that this was a lot of this was shot on location because of like the backgrounds and everything. It's just such a great film. Amazing performances from Lily Rose Depp. Sorry, is it Lily Rose or is it Rose Lily?
Yeah. Lily Rose, yeah.
Lily Rose Depp, uh, Nicholas Hoult, Bill Skarsgård. I can't believe it. I think he found the one character that may be more scary than Pennywise. Maybe. 'Cause Pennywise is a fucking clown. But the fact that he was able to turn Count Orlok terrifying says something because clowns are inherently terrifying to us for some reason. He
No,
somehow,
there's reasons. No, there's
huh?
reasons.
Huh? Yeah, oh,
There's
yeah,
reasons.
there's player. But
Yeah,
like the fact that he turned an accent to talk, like the fact that he made that intimidating
yeah.
is a testament to his ability to act. I said this in the video review that should hopefully be coming out next week. Like I'm back on the editing. Um, Not since Darth Vader has someone been so intimidating and used so few words.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a compliment. I want to be very
And
clear. That's
with
a compliment. I know I'm not the biggest Star
and
Wars fan, but even I acknowledge Darth Vader like as a villain.
and with heavy breathing also between words, which I think was intentional. I think that was a shout out.
I maybe it was, but like, man, Nosferatu is the kind of villain that I look at. I'm like, I think I would lose fighting him. Like, I'm not confident in my ability at all. I'll give my best shot, but Jesus, like,
I mean, he skips leg day, like we know it from the last shot, like that's
I, yeah, but like, I think can he control minds? I don't know. That's part of it.
yeah.
But also the new layers, like, again, I don't want to dive too deep into it, but like Edgar, like not only remade the original, but he added so many more storytelling layers that improved the story by going through from Helen's perspective, not Thomas. In the original, Helen is just damsel in distress. In this
Yeah.
one, she takes a lot more agency. She even recognizes it's got to be me. If we're gonna beat him, it's got to be me. Just all the way around, awesome movie, top five. Maybe it would even go up in the future. I was cautious about it because I didn't want to be like number one because I just saw it. But then in a month,
Yeah.
I'm like, it was good, but was it number one?
Yeah. I've been there.
Mhm.
But no, I really enjoyed Nosferatu as well. I mean, it's also on my list, and we geeked out about it on our review, so
Yeah.
it's
Which
there.
it will be coming out? Well, actually, it's coming out today when we're recording this. So look back at our previous review to listen to how much we like Nosferatu. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's number five. We're nearing in on the final four. And here is where to me it got super tricky because these sub four to me are like at some point these were all number one. Like I kept moving them and back and forth. So I'm not saying that this is the correct order. This is the order that I feel about now. Could change, but these four pretty much my favorite movies of the year. And number four, we're gonna kick it off with the dangers of nostalgia and how they can really affect us in both negatively and positively. And that those are the fears that we face when we see the TV glow. And that's gonna be
Okay.
number four. I saw the TV glow. James Schaumburg gave us this beautifully personal film that feels small but also big in a way. This I think was again one of the most original films of the year. Super cool how she was able to just capture these feelings and this cry for nostalgia and for living your life to the fullest. This is, I think, it's you could see it as just like a wow, if I'm not, stuck living my life in an honest way, I'm not really living, and that's slowly killing me. And you can watch that as like, stuck in a bad job, stuck in a bad relationship, but it is very obvious what it is, and that is an expression of the trans experience. And on years that we had a very offensive film like Emilia Perez, it's really good to have a good movie that acknowledges these feelings and also is not just it doesn't spoon feed it to you. There's a lot of layers to this, and there's a lot of really good feelings that come from it. It's also an extremely atmospheric film, and the acting is up the roof with this. Yeah, just one of the most memorable movies of the year. I think something that people will watch and discover a lot about themselves. But it's also one of those that like really rewards you for sticking out to it, for watching kind of weird shit. And because it might not be for everyone, but it's one of those movies that really, really connected with me, and that I know that connected with a lot of other people. Again, one of the most original films of the year. Justice Smith, I think, was absolutely wonderful. I think he was robbed. I think he deserved an Oscar nomination for this, and because it's so much different from his other performances, and I think he really, really shines in something like this. I think it's one of those movies that we're going to be talking about for a long time. Landmark movie. Thank you, A24. Thank you, Jane Shamram. Freaking love this one. Yeah, number four on the list.
I feel like I Saw the TV Glow should be one of those movies. It feels weird to say this. I don't want to say it should be required viewing, but I do feel like a lot of kids would benefit if they were to watch it in theaters, like their senior year. Like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna goof off for the day because you guys are seniors, you don't have to do anything. We're just gonna show this movie that may apply to some of you, and you don't even know it yet.
It kind of forces you to have empathy with with
I
what's going on. Yeah.
I would hope that people would watch this and find empathy, like it, because
Yeah.
it is a really great film. I know it's not on my top 10, but it is genuinely like people should be watching this. Oh,
Yeah.
it's also the second entry in a trilogy.
Kind of. It's a loose trilogy. It's just about same topics. The first one is called We're All Going to the World's Fair, and then the next one is still being worked on. But yeah, it's a thematic trilogy.
Like the Cornetto trilogy.
Kind of, yeah. The thing about We're All Going to the World's Fair is about like the dangers of like the internet and living too much through the internet. And then this one is, I guess, through TV. I'm not quite sure what the third one's going to be about, but yeah. So thematically, they connect.
Okay. I still like it. I saw TV go. Okay, so my number four. This is the last of my, I guess, horror films. I had a few of them on here as far as like, I would argue Nosferatu and A Violent Nature and Cuckoo were all horror. This is
Yeah.
my last one. I love me a good FBI investigation. Long legs.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm so glad it made it to your list because I really wanted to have it on mine.
It's just so damn good. It's wow, it also grossed quite a bit of money. $10 million
Yeah.
budget, 126 mil. Good job.
I mean, it was probably like next to Wicked, it was probably the best marketing campaign of the entire year.
The just it's just it's so fucking good. I okay, so I think I've told you this. When I was a kid, I tried to figure out who the Zodiac Killer was by like
Yeah.
watching the specials. I would write stuff down and be like, maybe I can figure it out.
Yeah.
It gets that little part of my heart, right?
Mhm.
It's a good chunk murder mystery, right? Her trying to figure out who this serial killer is, but with just the right sprinkle of magic isn't the right word, like supernatural.
Yeah.
I can kind of see the future. I don't know how, but I know that there's something bad right there. Like I don't know how I can tell. And it's so unsettling. Nicolas Cage is a very unsettling person. The climax is unsettling. This whole film feels like it's one long run through. And this is the kind of investigation that like scars an agent for life and they retire from the bureau. And this poor kid's a rookie.
Yeah.
Like it's her first case, and it includes her goddamn mother.
Mhm.
Spoilers, I guess. Um, Makota, sorry, Makita? Makaya? Makaya Monroe.
Micah Monroe.
Plays Lee Harker. Man, if this movie was not unsettling, I don't know what would be. Um, if you're a fan of true crime, if you're a fan of internet analog horror in any capacity, shape, or form, I highly recommend you this film 10 times over. Um, just an
Talk about Cage.
outstanding. Huh?
Talk about Cage. Talk about Cage. Talk about Cage, please.
Oh. I think he has maybe like what 10 minutes of screen time, if that.
Yeah.
Eats it up. He is very Hannibal Lecter-esque. Like you want to see more of him. Unsettling. His voice, his mannerisms, his face. Jesus Christ, his haunting face. And that's not to shame anyone that may have a certain condition, but Jesus Christ, like he was terrifying. He's the kind of person that you don't want to run into in a back alley. He's the kind of person you don't want to run into in fucking broad daylight. Um, just unsettling in all the worst ways possible. Nicolas Cage, I think the term is he ate. He didn't eat. He fucking gorged himself on a buffet.
Ate, swallowed, left no crumbs. Just
Just terrifying all the way through. A movie that also I think benefits a lot from its lack of score. It does have a score, but it lets the moments breathe in silence at times, and that's the best thing you could possibly do. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be my number four is Long Legs. Also, another honorable mention I just realized we forgot, Trap.
oh yeah, Trapped. I rewatched Trap recently with my family,
Uh,
and I gave it like a 3.5 star the first time that I saw it.
uh,
After seeing it again, I lowered that to 3 stars, weirdly enough. But I will say this: my dad, who loves true crime and serial killers, absolutely ate it up. So that's a compliment to him, to him, I
fair.
guess. Um, yeah. No, yeah, I love Long Legs. Again, one of the most original films of the year. I cannot wait to see The Monkey, which is Oz Perkins' next movie. Hopefully it goes well. Yeah. Did
Okay.
you did,
Well,
did you hear about that movie?
Monkey, no.
It's about twin brothers that go to their grandpa's basement after he passed away, and they find like a toy monkey, like the one with the thing that claps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cursed.
How so? Or that's what we get to find out.
That's what we get to find out. Yeah, it looks good.
Fuck, let's go.
All right, so that's number four, right?
My number four.
Number four, we're going to number three, probably the most emotional, inducing film of the year. I think one that made me cry, but also made me hopeful of the world, and made me hopeful about art. And you know exactly where I'm going with this, and that is gonna be Look Back. Look Back, probably my favorite animated film of the year. Um, usually I clog this list with animated films. To me, this was the best one. To me,
Mhm.
this is a triumph. It is a success. It is that movie that we need right now in a world that's filled with AI stuff and bullshit and garbage. This is a beacon of light in this world. A beautiful story about two childhood friends that unite through art, and is art also what tears them apart. Um, and it's such a great story and has probably my favorite final like 10-15 minutes of film where they are able to claw in so much without dialogue. It's all just music cues and visuals, and I adored it, man. Anime just has so much weight and is kind of the perfect way to tell this kind of story because it is about drawing manga, so it's kind of perfect for it. Also, it's very short, it's barely an hour long, and it's available to watch on Amazon Prime. And just this guy just gets it because this is the same guy who did Chainsaw Man, and he was able to just pull out something as good as this, also after doing, something as good as that. So I recommend this to everyone, even if you don't watch anime, just watch Look Back if you're even a little bit into art, because it's a good reminder of why we do things and why it's important to keep doing them, even if, regardless of where they lead you, because it is about that journey and not about the destination itself. So yeah, Look Back is my number three. Again, robbed of an Oscar nomination. I think it deserved Best Picture. I'll fucking say it. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, at least nominated for like best animated film or not even that.
no, not even that.
Let me guess, Despicable Me 4 was though.
No.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not upset with the ones that were nominated. I think Look Back also deserved to be there.
Let me see. I need to
Yeah, it was Inside Out, the Wallace and Gromit movie made it.
Memoirs of a Snail
Members of a Snail, which I haven't seen, but I've heard it's really good.
and The Wild Robot. Okay, fair enough.
And Flow, which I think was fantastic too.
Fair.
Um, yeah, movie from Latvia with no dialogue made it to the made it to the Oscar leagues. That's a win, and it's about a cat. Who doesn't like cats? So yeah, so that's my number three. Number three is Look Back.
Okay. So
Mhm.
my number three is a movie that I was shocked didn't do better. A movie that I genuinely would have expected to break 500 million at least. A movie I genuinely believe is an epic. There are three movies this year that I feel like had a grand scope. Nosferatu is one. I'll get to the first, but this is number two. Well, my number three, but also it felt like an epic. Furiosa, Mad Max Saga.
Ooh, I thought it was gonna go to a different direction, but
Uh,
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm kind of curious what direction you were thinking. Um,
I'm thinking you're gonna talk about it in the next two spots, but yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
so Furiosa, just goddamn, so well written, well acted, a genuine epic. There's so much going on, so many layers. I mean, you don't even say Anna Taylor-Joy as Furiosa for like the first, what, 30 minutes of the film?
Yeah.
You just see her childhood trauma and all the bullshit she goes through, and you see Thor such an asshole. Um, an outstanding film through and through. A movie that really should have done better. I have no clue why it didn't because it got all the rave reviews. It's great action sequences. There's a moment in here, folks. I'm just gonna fucking say it right now. Um, Towards the end of the movie, because it's been out for a while. I feel like I can mention this. Furiosa's out for revenge against Thor. She finally corners him, right? Like he has no water, no weapons, no food. He's exhausted. And he's basically saying, kill me. Like fucking kill me. Just get it over with already. What there's nothing that you can do that's worse than murdering me. So go ahead, fucking do it already. Just pull the trigger. Begging for death. And I thought to myself the same thing. I'm like, well, yeah, like the worst you can do is kill him. Just put him down already. He's an animal. Like, even if she leaves him out there to die in the desert, he'll die slow and painful, but he'll die. And somehow she found something worse. She somehow found a punishment, arguably or inarguably worse than death.
Listen, I've seen my share of slasher films. Never seen some shit like that. I'll tell you that.
That you know why though? Because that death takes patience.
Yeah.
That death takes patience and restraints and like a lot of willpower, but she fucking found it. Jesus. But to not to belabor a point, but Furiosa is just an epic in every scale in every which way. I know they had to use CGI in some parts. There's no way they could have done like Bullet Town without it. But this movie is a labor of love. It's a bygone era. I would hope if we did epics like we did back in the 80s that it would look like this. Um, I can't recommend Furiosa enough. It was such a great time. It's a movie that was so good. I watched it in theaters more than once. That is the hallmark of a truly great film. Um, I spent my money multiple times. But yes, that's my number three, Furiosa.
Were you
Uh,
like, were you like, I'm gonna make this not flop. Like, it's gonna be
uh,
on me.
well, I think at the time I still had the movie club, so no matter what I did, it was gonna flop. I just donated more movies to the local theater by buying popcorn and stuff.
All right, then that's good then.
Yes, my number three. Your number two, sir.
Number two. Okay, couldn't have given you a more different movie if I wanted to. Um, I can guarantee you haven't heard of this movie. Uh, so here's the thing. I've made throughout all the years that we've been doing this, I've made my taste be well known. You
Mhm.
know, I like a good action film as much as anyone. I like a good superhero film as much as anyone. I like a good drama as much as everyone. I like well written stuff, but you and I keep coming back to the basic lower dynamic stuff. And one genre rules above all for me, and that is the coming of age story. And
That's fair.
this is I love a period piece. I love a coming of age story, and man, I love it when guys be dudes. I so this is probably the most dude bro movie of the year, and that was also able to be very well written, very funny, and very accessible. Highly recommend everyone check this out because if they haven't. This is a little movie called Snack Shack. Yeah,
Okay.
guarantee you. This movie was not released in theaters. It went straight to, if you can believe this, Paramount Plus. I know. Who cares about that, right? And yet, what if I tell you this is one of the most special, fun, and enjoyable coming of age stories of the last few years? Movie starring Connor Sherry and Gabriel LaBelle again. Yes, little Sammy Fableman got a twofer this year, and guess what? He went for the hat trick. Three great performances back to back to back, man. They play two young teenagers in the 90s in a summer. The whole movie takes place in one summer, and they are guys who are just trying to they're doing get rich quick schemes. Like that's the whole movie. And they start by betting on dog racing. Then they're also brewing their own beer that they try to sell. And this takes place in Nebraska, I believe, also. And it's them just hanging out in very low jean shorts and tank tops, just running around the summer, just fighting with each other and having fun. And then their parents discover that they're brewing beer, so they throw it all away. And these two have fantastic chemistry with each other, and they end up taking all the money that they've saved up to rent the snack shack in a local pool. And the whole movie is them just kind of having fun at the snack shack and then going through personal grievances growing up. They meet a girl that they are kind of both into. They have a friend that is a little older than them that is kind of like coaching them. And it's about their relationship with their parents and with each other. And it is downright fantastic. Wonderful stuff that we got here. Adam Raymer is the director who previously did Diner in America. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard really good things. And but yeah, dude, Snack Shack works because the chemistry that these two have is fantastic. It's super funny. It's got if you have a bro, if you have like a guy best friend, you've had conversations like this. You've had fights like this. You've had like you know, emotions like this. And they're super fun. I like how, there's no special effects. It's all just shot on location. The city looks beautiful, and it manages to capture that spirit of growing up and winning and losing and just going to parties and stuff. I love this movie. Yes, I think you raised your hand.
I I think I have
Yeah.
heard of this movie.
Okay.
You tell me if I'm right.
Yeah.
Is there a scene where they're both wearing suits and their parents are pissed because they just blew all their money on a race?
Yes.
Holy fuck. Okay, yes, I've seen that one scene and I was like, what
Okay.
fucking movie is this? I want to see it. Okay, now I know. I need to watch Snack Shack.
Yeah. Oh, that scene is so funny. They wear suits to go to a bank to request a loan. That's why they're wearing suits.
Oh my God. Aren't they 18 or aren't they kids?
They're 14 in this.
You can't get a loan, you dumbass.
Exactly, but it's the 90s, so it's not as bad. Also, I'll just say it. I imagine the range for Gabriel Labelle to play a 14-year-old and a 30-year-old in the same year. Also, this kid is jacked. He's freaking jacked in this movie.
He was also in the drama series American Gigolo.
No, but he was in the Saturday night. He played Lorne Michaels. So it's just really cool to
Oh,
see him like go back and forth. Yeah, little Sammy Fableman grew up.
gee, that's so weird.
But yeah, everyone check out Snack Shack. Like I mentioned, it's available, and I can't believe this, but like in Paramount Plus. Oh no, apparently it's now available to stream in Prime as well. So I believe you can watch it without having to rent it. It's available in Prime. In the US, it's available to stream on Prime as well. So that's really cool. Yeah, everyone go check it out. And like I mentioned, if it's available to stream, just go stream it. Like it's super fun. And Commissioner, probably one of the best coming of age stories that we've had in like the last few years. Can't wait to see what this guy does next. Really, really had fun with this. There's so many good lines. Like, not okay. I don't want the moment that they gain like they go because they have to bet on it to get the snack shack. That reveal when they I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it is one of the funniest things that you're gonna see in your life. Like I can guarantee you, one of the best reveals when they do that. But yeah, that they start to sell hot dogs in the stand, and then they start writing the word fuck with mustard, and they start charging more for that because the kids love it. So
I would like one
yeah,
fuck hot dog.
they call it a fuck dog. Yeah,
A fuck dog.
uh,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, but it's like I mentioned, it's about growing up, and it feels like one of those movies that's always existed. It feels like one of those movies that you discovered by channel hopping. So yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. Just guys being dudes, no smartphones in sight, just a big fun summer adventure,
I saved
and
it.
yeah. Yeah. Like I mentioned, it's on Prime to stream, so you don't even have to rent it or anything or download it illegally. It's there. So
He
yeah,
was talking to
Snack
you
Shack.
folks and people in general. He wasn't talking to me, right, Chema?
Sure. Snack Shack, number two.
Uh, okay. My number two. My number two is one that you're, yeah, I can guarantee you're gonna be like, Really? That's only your number two? That's not your number one? I guarantee you that's going to be your reaction.
I'm guessing I already know what it is. I mean, I knew this was gonna be in your list.
Oh yeah.
Uh, either way, I'm surprised it's that high since, you know. No, I'm not surprised it's that high.
It,
Yeah. I knew it was gonna be one or two. Yeah.
I will reason it out with for you right now. So my number two is going to be Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire.
Of course it is.
Of course it was. Of course. You can see my Godzilla collection right there. And
Yeah, yeah,
actually, if I
yeah.
turn you right here is Shimu, that's Godzilla, and that's Kong.
Mhm.
My pops.
Why do you not have a Mothra one?
Do you know how expensive Mothra is?
I don't know. Is she?
Very.
I mean, she's quite a lady. I'm assuming she's gonna be expensive.
No, well, it's because they don't make that many of her. So they're fucking expensive by
I
inflation.
I figured.
Well, if
All
you want
right.
to buy the nice Mothra one, yeah, it's fucking expensive. Ugh,
All right.
I hate the other ones. Anyway, sorry, going back. So Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Um, it felt wrong to put this one at number one because it's more of a Kong movie than it is a Godzilla one. Godzilla is very much a supporting character. I went to watch him. Like, let me be clear, fuck the big monkey. Like, he needed help. Godzilla can handle his shit on his own. I'm just saying. My brother-in-law Zeke was like, oh, like, just because Godzilla's not the main character in this one. And I remember telling him, look, man, Big Monk couldn't handle it. He asked for help. Godzilla doesn't ask for help. He handles his shit. I'm just saying. Whatever. Anyway, um, as we all know, Godzilla is a cheat code to my heart, right? It's a lot. This movie is a lot of fun. I took the whole family to go watch it, like of my own accord. I told everyone we're watching it on this time. I'm buying tickets for everyone. Don't worry about it. This is for me. I want to take my family. So, nieces, nephews, cousins, my sisters, my mom, my brother-in-law, Nikki, everyone went to go watch this one. And it was a lot of fun. And I think that's one reason why it's so high on my list because it was a rare moment that I got to share with my whole family. Like I don't get those very often, right? Um, it meant a lot to me to be able to have to share that moment. That and Blue Beetle. I was able to take them in September when it re-released. Anyway, a lot of fun. To continue the MonsterVerse, it's getting more ridiculous, and that's what I love. Um, Adam Wingard, the director, straight up said, like, look, Godzilla versus Kong was like a versus movie. Godzilla X Kong is more of a Kong film. The next one is going to be more of a Godzilla movie. He said that before he left to direct the third one. So I'm really hoping that the third one follows his vision and focuses more on Godzilla and his origins. That said, though, Godzilla X Kong, even then, still fun to watch, still fun to go rewatch. Great models, massive scale. It was the final part of the 6 months of Godzilla where we had -1, Monarch, A Legacy of Monsters, and we capped off with this one. Just a world of fun all the way through. It does deserve to be my number two, but also I recognize it's not perfect. I just hope that when we get the next one, I hope it has features more Godzilla. But I'll be taking my whole family to go watch it, including, depending on when this comes out, Little Mr. Oliver.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was
Hopefully,
ball when the first time I take him to the movies.
yeah. Have you already made like a plan of what's the first Godzilla movie you're gonna show him?
Uh, I don't know, because that's the thing. It has to maintain his attention.
You should start with the old ones then.
That's true. Oh my God, I can show him the original Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. Because like he doesn't know that the standards have raised. Like you could just show him old movies and he'll just be like, those are new for him. He has no idea. Yeah.
For all he knows, this is peak cinema right here. These things
Yeah, like
be
like he's not gonna
misleading.
watch them and be like, you know what, Wingard's take was like, was the best one. Like, yeah, yeah. Like he's not gonna be like, oh my God, like what why are the humans here? Like he has no idea. That's the best part.
Oh man, you're right. You're completely right. Oh
Yeah.
God. All right. So yeah, that's my number two, Godzilla X Kong.
All right, so that's your number two. I have no idea what your number one is gonna be. Dang, I am oof, Jesus.
Is this a new feeling for you?
What?
Is this a new feeling for you that you're not sure what it's gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't know what my number one is either, but like, we're at a crossroads right here. So this is gonna be fun. My number one is a movie that we didn't get to review. I don't know if you've seen it either. I think I did recommend it to you at one point, but I saw this with a couple of friends, and it's a weird feeling when like you're watching a movie and you go like, "Is this my favorite movie of the year?" I think it is. Like it's sometimes you watch it and you're like, "It's so easy." Like it's so freaking easy. Like this is the one. I don't think this is a movie that represents the whole year. I don't think it's a movie that like if I put it next to the ones that I've told you before, I don't know if I could tell you like oh it beats it or like whatever. But it is the movie that while watching it, I was like, yeah, this is the shit. Like this is the sauce. Like this is a movie that I freaking adored, and I think it's got like my favorite male performance of the year. It's really well written and comes from a very unlikely a subject and also very original. It's a movie called A Different Man.
Okay, it is on the list, but I have not had the chance to watch it yet. I am very interested to see why you like it.
So I loved it so much because so for those of you who don't know, it stars Sebastian Stan, you know, in one of his two incredible performances this year with this and The Apprentice. Um, he plays this man with neurofibriosis, which is a condition where his skin really starts to move and deteriorate and move in a benign way. Like it doesn't affect his way of living. It's just it affects the way that his skin is, and it's kind of this movie is weirdly kind of like the Substance for Men. Like it works in a similar way because he has this condition and he's an actor. He's trying to make it as an actor, and all he can get is these infomercials for people in the workplace that work with people with this condition. And they're like, "Well, this is what you say, this is what you don't say," and like that's kind of what his day to day is. He
Is it
falls
like
in love
super
with
common in their world?
it's super common in our world. Like this is a real condition. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. So it's a real condition, and so he has this condition, and he's kind of like trying to do his daily life, and then he gets a call from a group of dermatologists who tell him like, you know what, we're testing this thing. It could help your condition. It could like lower it. But you know we're still in trial period. We'll see if it works. He starts taking it and it starts to help him. Like it starts to uh, help his condition kind of go away to the point where like his skin kind of falls off and reveals the face of Sebastian Stan. And you know, that's a good deal if you can get it. And and instead of going to a dermatologist and be like, "Hey, look, it worked," he decides to be like, "Oh, that guy killed himself. I'm his cousin." And starts to live a completely new life. Like he's like, you know what? That was never me. That never happened. He goes into a different job. He starts selling houses. I forgot the name of that thing.
Real
He goes
estate.
into he becomes a real estate agent. He becomes like a hey like there, and then he finds out that his neighbor, who he was in love with, is directing a play about his life, about the guy who died. And so he shows up and he's like, "Hey, I think I could do it." And so he starts to do this. And at the same time, this other guy shows up. His name is Oswald, played by an actor named Adam Pearson, who also has the condition. And this is an actor that has the condition in real life. And he shows up and he is the most charming man that you've ever seen in your life. He is so self-confident. He's so funny. Everyone loves this guy. And Edward, who's Sebastian Stan's character, just absolutely hates him because he's like, "What the fuck do you mean that you can have that condition and everyone can still love you and you can still be what the fuck do you mean that I can look like Sebastian Stan and I'm still not happy?" This guy goes through imposter syndrome like 6 times during this movie. It's weirdly enough, it's a black comedy, but it's so realistic. Like, you know, in a weird way, it tells us so much about how we feel and how we go through things and how we process things. And it is absolutely wonderful because here comes this guy who's like, "Hey, what's up, everyone?" And everyone loves him because he's so, oh my God, he's so funny, he's so charming, he's so self-confident. And he's like, you motherfucker. Like he sees him and he's like, Dinkelberg. Like it's It's so great because it really taps into this weird obsession that we have with how we look and how we do. And the substance is the same thing, and the substance is wonderful. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say this is better than the substance. Substance obviously goes for more the spectacle and everything, but this is so personal, so small, so lower dynamic, so basic that it really, really works. Much like Juror Number Two, it's so well written and it's so wonderful to see a movie like this. To me, Sebastian Stan might be the best actor that came out of the Marvel cast because between this and everything else that he's doing, like little by little, he's really shaping up to be a fantastic actor. And this might be his best performance, in my opinion. He should have been nominated for this and not for The Apprentice because I think he could have won for his performance in this. Um, he's that good. And Adam Pearson is also wonderful. He's been in a couple of movies. He was in Under the Skin, which is how a lot of people first saw him. But man, put him in a lot more movies because he's made for roles like this. So yeah, highly recommend everyone check out A Different Man. It is currently streaming on Max. So if you didn't get to see it in theaters, watch it on Max. It's wonderful. It's very special, and it's really also very funny. Like it's a little bit of dark humor, but it really hits the spot. And much like Snack Shack, all filmed on location. It was filmed on 35 millimeters, which I think is how film should look. And yeah, that's also great score. Fantastic score also. It's like a dark joke, really. Like because it's like,
It's one long
man,
fucking joke.
yeah, because you just know that there's people who feel like this. And I think at some point we've all felt a little bit like Edward, so it makes sense. But yeah, unabashedly, I'm gonna say that my number one movie of the year is A Different Man.
Fair. Okay. I can get behind that. Um, it's on the list now. I just added it. So now I need to
Okay.
watch Saturday Night, Snack Shack, and A Different Man. Wasn't there
Mhm.
another one that you really were pushing for me to watch? I can't remember.
Think I must have I don't know. Let
There
me
was
go
a,
back to
I know there was A Different Man, and then there was another one that I was like, all right, I'll watch it too.
yeah, I think I told you like around the same time. I was like
Let's see, Different Man, Nosferatu,
oh, I saw the Wolf Man. That was the other one.
Wolfman. Oh, that one I just got, so I can do that one.
Yeah. But Wolfman, that's 2025 joint. So that's like it's gonna be for here.
So, okay, yeah, I think it was Wolfman.
Okay.
All right. That one I already have put down, so okay, that's good. All right, that was your number one. My number one, and it will shock you. Is gonna be the most Odyssey-esque epic film of the year. A movie, another one that I was like, I'm doing this because I have a podcast where we talk about films, not because I want to see it. And I walked out of the movie shocked at how much I liked it. Shocked at how much I enjoyed it. I like this movie so much. I went back to go watch part one and it made more sense. Ladies and gentlemen, my number one film of the year, Dune 2.
Amazing. All right.
And I think Dune 1 might have been like one of my worst movies of the year that it came out because it was so scattered and all over the place. And I couldn't keep up with what the fuck is going on. Why is this? Why is that? Dune Part 2 is so good, it makes the first one palatable and better. Because now you understand what the fuck is happening. That's how good this movie is. Beautifully shot, well told story on such a massive scale. Like the imagination. I'll tell you this. This is one of the dumbest things that made me go, "With this movie is amazing." When they do fireworks in this film, they look like ink blotches in the sky. Like that's future fireworks. Who the fuck thought of that? But that is brilliant. They built up Timothy Chalamet's character as the Messiah. They give him a rival, a blood rival. It's very clear there are multiple factions scheming in the background. You're just like, oh fuck, who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? It's as close as you can get to watching Game of Thrones without having to like commit literal years of your life to watching and waiting for the goddamn book, J.R.R. Martin. You fuck. More than a sentence a day. If you do a page a day, that's enough. A paragraph a day is enough. Fuck. Anyway, um, Dune is just so good on so many levels because you also see the story arc of Timothy Chalamet's character, which Duke is it Duke? No, Paul Atreides. I'm sorry.
Waters, yeah.
I didn't even have to look it up. I remember that's how good this movie is. I actually remembered his name. Paul Atreides. You see his fall down from grace. You see him becoming a reluctant messiah who's just trying to get revenge for his family after his father was murdered, to manipulating an entire religion of people, to embracing the role of Messiah and waging war not against an army, but the very cosmos themselves, not against the roof, the sky itself, where we are at war. Um, you see him fall in love and try to become a better man and a leader and a member of this team, to embracing the fact, now I'm gonna have multiple wives at school, Zendaya's fine with it. Which I don't think she is. I don't think Tom Holland is either, so I think this works out. But the fact of the matter is Dune 2 and Wonka made me like Timothy Chalamet, a Nepo baby who I am notoriously, I hate rich kids. I hate Nepo babies, but god damn, if his performance isn't so good, it makes me say, he's fine. Um, Dune 2 is the kind of movie that genuinely comes along once in a generation, and I think you said this, and I think I have to agree with you. This movie is so good, it might become this generation's Star Wars trilogy. And it's hard for me to disagree. Let's just hope they can stick the landing better than A New Hope. No, not A New Hope. What's the third one?
Return of
Return
the
of the
Jedi.
Jedi?
Return of the Jedi made pleased the fans. Okay, it's not bad. It's not badly seen at all. It's just it's
Yeah.
just after Empire, you can't really get better. That's it. That's the problem. And this
Let's
movie has
hope
the
that
same problem. We'll
let's
see
hope
how
that
Dune. We'll see how Dune. What's it called? What's it gonna be called? It's gonna be called Dune. Dune Messiah. It's gonna be called.
let's hope Doom Messiah is better. I really hope that they continue the trend of upping the film because part two was again, part two was so good. I went back and rewatched the movie I actively hated and could now appreciate because I understood the nuances of what they're doing. That's how good it was. That should speak volumes. Um, Yeah, Dune 2, my number one film of 2024. A weird year.
Yeah.
We had this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Dune was one of the best parts of this year. I think genre films really took over pretty much everything else, and I think that's for good. That was for good. Uh, oof. This might have been one of my favorite years that we. This might have been one of my favorite top tens that we've ever done.
Why?
Honestly,
Because
I don't know. It's just the discrepancy, the fact that we didn't really agree on anything besides Dune and Nosferatu, and yeah, also no Oscar films on our list besides Conclave, I guess. No, it's just we found the good parts of the year and we put them here. So that's really good. And man, what a pleasure it's been. Let's keep it going.
oh, of course. That's a given.
Yeah. All
Uh,
right. So
Damn, we
thank you
took up
so
the whole
much.
2 hours.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna cut up like the little break that we took there.
I'm not. I'm gonna leave it there. The fans can watch. Okay, the fans can watch and enjoy.
All right, fine. Yeah, that's when they can take a break too. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. This is a pleasure and a privilege. Next week, what are we doing next week? You gonna do The
I
Northman or what are you gonna do?
I was gonna suggest either. I have it down here. I was gonna ask you. So you know how
Yeah,
you've been recommending me movies and I've been watching them and it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. I got one for you
yeah.
now.
All right, let's do it.
Hell of a Boss season 2 because I binged that motherfucker in a day and it is amazing and I love it.
Is it over? Is it
Yeah.
complete?
Yeah, they did
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Oh, they're done.
12 episodes, you said?
Yeah, 12 episodes. But it
Yeah,
is
I'll do it.
so good.
All right, let's do it. Let's do that.
I
Yeah.
was not expecting to enjoy it that much.
All right. Yeah.
Uh,
Sounds good. I love season one. We can go ahead
bust
and do that.
out. Look, I'll tell you this real quick. Hell of a Boss season 1 was fine. I didn't love it. I loved Hazbin Hotel more. Season 2 was so good. Now it's on equal terms with Hazbin Hotel, and I fucking
Oh
love it.
shit. Oh
You
shit.
know how much I love it.
I know you love that. Yeah. And
So
I love it too. And I really like Caspian too. I mean, I
He's
love
my
Hell of
boy
Us too.
now. I love him.
Blitz.
I love Blitz.
Blitz is great, man. Hey, Theo is silent. Like weirdly enough, I think I mentioned it in the review, but like I didn't love like the excessive cursing of Hasman. To me, it felt like a gimmick. But with Blitz, it really works because you know it's coming from here.
Yeah, it's coming from
Like
the
it's
heart.
coming from his stomach is where it's coming from.
There's so much character growth in season two. I love it.
Oh
Ah.
hell yeah! All right, we're gonna kick off 2025 with a look at season two of Hell of a Boss, and we'll run through that and we'll see how the year keeps popping up. We have superheroes are gonna be back, horror movies are gonna put up a fight this year. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining us. My name was Chema,
And I've been Eddie.
and this was the rollback. Signing off with a reminder that we're not gonna root for the Chiefs this year. We're gonna root for the Eagles and for Kendrick Lamar. We'll see how the Super Bowl goes.
I imagine the world if Drake comes out with him like halfway through.
The Super Bowl would be ruined, and that would, you know, I would, I don't know. I would dedicate my life to Mormonism if that happened. Because like, what
Hold
the
you
fuck is he?
to that. Imagine if that does happen, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Hold me to that. It's fine.
What's it
I'm a man
called?
of my word.
What if, God, I really hope the game starts and Patrick Mahomes just like breaks his ankle like on the first play, tears his ACL on the very first play of the game. But God won't let me have nice things.
We'll
Bye, everyone.
see. To
No,
New Year.
wait.
Goodbye.
Well, what's our reminder this year? And you know what? Here's the reminder. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to take this over real quick.
Let's go.
Watch movies that you love and that you know you're going to enjoy, but also take the time to watch movies that are out of your comfort zone. They may not always be great, but you may find a few gems like I think I was able to, and maybe you too.
Yeah, of course. Watch movies made and starring people who do not look like you. That's I think my big like. Oh, you want to get more into movies? Watch movies not just starring people, but also made by people who do not look like you, and you will
That's a
gain a
good.
better understanding. What's up?
That's a very good point. I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah, it really makes you think, and it really makes you see things from other perspectives, and that's good. So if you're a straight white guy, watch movies directed by a trans black woman, and believe me, you're gonna see some shit that you're gonna be like, you know what? I kind of see myself in this, and that's okay. Or you see it, and you were like, I don't know what, I don't get it, but like. It's kind of cool. I don't know why I went into like my Wahlberg voice there, but like, you know, it's there. So yeah, check that out. That's I think my first like, oh, you want to get into movies? Go go through here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Folks, thank you for another year of our top tens. Next year we might do an Omega top 10, but we'll see about that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna keep this going. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.
See you, everyone.